I'm Pern.
And I'm Dave.
Welcome to the show, where we talk about everything from movies, music, sports, and TV.
And stories from the rest of our lives.
Things we don't talk about are politics and religion.
And this is how we all stay friends.
Okay, let's talk. I was driving to work the other day and I saw this plate that I just can't figure out. I just don't know. Okay. And like this plate makes no sense to me. It was Y5R BB8K. And I'm like, why?
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 Why's
Why?
Like YS?
Why is BB cake? Bait cake? Baby cake? Bait cake? Why so baby cake? Why? Y5R BB8K.
Bait.
8K.
Bait?
I don't
know.
It makes no sense.
No.
I don't know.
Someone has to create an app that when you can put these
that you can
license plates
decipher
in,
this
it
stuff
actually
from.
comes up with whatever it could be.
I don't know.
I'm sure
this is why we don't do license plates anymore.
Well,
because it's a total.
So
hey, we have a show.
Oh, shit.
Oh, we've got a show. Hey, everybody.
I didn't know you hit the button yet.
Oh, yeah, I did. I hit record. Well, I guess while we were talking about cars.
We're just going off.
We are.
Nice.
I just saw this license plate. It was so stupid. Anyway, so hey, welcome to the show this week. It's the 1st of April.
How are you doing?
We are starting off the new month of April. It is April 1st, but there's no pranks here tonight. We're all serious.
Of course.
And yeah, all serious. This is the serious episode. We will be all serious, all
April
episode
1,
long.
4/1.
April 1st. No jokes or gags tonight at all.
None.
I found the top 6 list of cars that are the most unreliable brands to buy.
I thought we had done something like this before.
Well, we did the one before where we talked about there was one of the mechanics, like they'd go around the shop and say, oh, don't buy this or don't buy that or don't buy that. Okay, right. But this was actually an article that was the top 6 most unreliable car brands. Okay. Do not buy these cars.
Someone did research.
Someone did.
Out.
Like
here we go.
Yes, and they actually broke it down by like the numbers on like how much the repairs would cost you a year and how much the whole. So the number one most irreliable car, biggest piece of hunk of junk on the road, is the Rivian. The electric,
really?
the $75,000 electric car
right.
came in with a rating of like 14 out of 100 as one of the most unreliable cars. And when it does break, it's going to cost you like, you better have some freaking money because you already spent $75,000 on the car.
Now, just to get a part.
Just to get it fixed.
Ouch.
And it's unreliable and it just doesn't last. So the Rivian was the top one, which I was like, oh, I was kind of, because that's a newer car.
Yeah, you would
like
think that it didn't have enough time to build up that kind of.
Oh, sorry. The numbers on the Rivian. Yeah, the base model $75,000. The top of the line is $115,000.
Oh my goodness!
I cannot even fathom spending $115,000 on a car that I can't rely on.
Oh yeah,
like
at
that's
any
just
moment,
yeah. I don't have that much money to just throw away at stuff for
I don't think a lot of people do.
So second most unreliable, Cadillac.
Really?
Yeah, and and this is Cadillacs run between like $44,000 to $67,000, and that was number 2 is the most unreliable. Number 3 was the GMC, and it was the brand GMC. It was the Sierra 1500, the 2500 HD, the Yukons, the Yukon XLs, and the Canyon, the Yukon or the GMC Canyon? Is that like the big SUV? Is that what that is?
I think it might be. But yeah, those are all probably on the same chassis, which makes
They're probably, yeah. So anyway, those GMC SUVs were like not,
really?
not reliable.
Well, that's not good.
Next on the list, which is, again, I've been very clear about my disliking towards this car company. I'm sorry, Nancy. It's Jeep. Jeep was the fourth most unreliable. And they said the Gladiator, the Wrangler, the Grand Cherokee, and the Grand Cherokee L. I don't know what that is.
L.
I don't know. Is that
long?
Maybe. I guess. I don't know what. I don't know. But yeah, L. Jeeps. They said stay away from Jeeps. The next on the list was Volkswagen.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's
and they
interesting.
Said it was the Tiguan, the ID4, and the Taos. Is that what it is?
Those are all newer ones. Yeah.
Are they all SUVs? Is the ID4 an SUV?
I don't
I don't know if that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
In fact,
again, unreliable. 38,000 plus for a Tegan, and
wow.
it's and
still you throw a lot of money at a car.
Yeah. And then so number 6, most unreliable, Tesla.
Oh, really?
And it was the Model 3, the Y, the S, the X, and what the hell? Let's just throw the Cybertruck in there too.
Just gonna have to.
Most unreliable.
Well, that's interesting
and
because
will cost you
what needs to happen with the service of that kind of a car.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's just.
Well, and all the other shit going on with Tesla right now too. So
true,
it's like
but
domestic violence towards a Tesla. Is that what they're calling it? Domestic terrorism. Towards the not domestic violence towards
domestic
Tesla.
violence. That's a little different.
The domestic violence towards Tesla.
That's
right.
Car abuse.
Car abuse.
I mean, the car itself is. I don't know. It's basically how it's built. Put together, if it's going to last long enough. I don't know. Some of these just don't have the track record of like a Ford. You know what I mean? Like a Ford Explorer
Chevy, even Chevy
has been out there forever. But they've been able to work out some of the kinks of some of these
over the years.
Cars, but not that I'm arguing the fact that some of these cars need to be made a little more reliable. But I
don't know. They just don't make them like they used to.
That's true.
Us old farts remember in my day.
Your day.
When you bought a Honda Civic, you drove that thing into the ground at 400,000 miles.
Buy a car for $5. You could just
the Civic.
Yes, and then just buy bits and pieces of it.
Exactly. Just fix what you need.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. So what was your weekend like? How did it end up?
I know I texted you that I got injured again.
He did.
I was struggling.
Hurt himself.
I had a lot of projects going on. And one of the projects was that cubby. I got to put the flooring in. And
for the dogs.
I was down on my knees. Yeah, I was on the ground. And I guess I misjudged where the opening was when I came up.
Like a cross beam?
I stood up like I was clear of it and not realizing, and with all of my weight I pushed off and bounced my head off
back of your head.
Right. You know when they always have that say where the baby's soft spot is? It's about an inch off of that.
Oh my gosh.
And I saw stars. You know, sometimes you kind of
you're like
stars.
Whoa.
I saw stars. It didn't knock me back down to my feet, but it was enough, right, to make you kind of wince and get that tear in your eye, kind of, you know.
Dave sends me the text. He goes, I might be going to the ER tonight. I'm like, what? He goes, I kind of knocked myself out.
Lisa
I was like,
wanted me to go because I was having headaches all weekend, and I don't know if it was
slight
particularly
concussion
related to that. I don't know. I had her look, but I couldn't. You can't really tell.
Oh, because she's a concussion expert.
Yeah,
she knew she could just look and tell.
Women could do that. You didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently, 20 years of marriage. No, I didn't. I wasn't aware that they could.
I don't. I'm joking.
I know.
But my problem is
no jokes tonight.
Was that
April 1st? No jokes. No jokes.
No jokes.
No jokes tonight. This is the serious episode.
I always seem to injure myself because that wasn't the only time. Because then on Sunday I went outside to deal with the pond because our pond's now on filter cleaning.
And your fish?
I was
can you see them now?
The fish. Yeah. We can see all the way to the bottom. Now.
Nice.
So I got the filters in. They're all running. They're running great. I went around the edge of the pond, and we have these large marble benches just sitting there. They were just topiary type of, or not. I guess I don't even know what
topiary.
Really not a topiary. It's in
dystopian?
A space. Yeah, maybe that. But they're immovable. The things do not move. Even if you like bumped into it, it would not move.
It'll break your ankle.
I decided I was going to bump into it with my shin.
Oh, of course.
At full stride. I was like, I was walking backwards. I turned real quick. I put my foot down and
went right over it.
Slammed right into it. It really did put me down. That one did.
Wow.
And I was cussing and just my neighbors. I swear, I really appreciate them. But yeah, I have not had a very good weekend.
Dave needs some anger management issues.
I don't know, but and then again, it's just it still hurts, but I could walk on it, which was the weirdest thing. But it was just enough on that shin. There's just nothing there on that.
So
shin.
Should we just dress you up in your goalie gear and let you not do anything?
To.
Like anytime you're out doing yard work, you have to be wearing your goalie gear. So like your shin pads, you can just pop right into it and be like, nothing.
All of it. Right? Because I know I'm going to bust at least wear a freaking helmet or a hard hat. And I don't know. I am always hurting myself. I don't even know.
That is funny.
My niece was in a play. She's a junior now.
Really?
Already? Junior.
Wow.
She got the lead. Or one of the leads, because in the Mamma Mia, it's for Mamma Mia. The mom and the daughter are the two main characters.
So she was the daughter. Oh, she got the daughter lead.
Yeah, she was the daughter. She and she did really good. There was a lot of singing. It was singing with the track in the background. Of course, there was just the high school players who did really well. It was a good play. The songs,
and you said it went on for 3.5 hours.
It was very long.
It was really long.
It was two.
Was there an intermission?
2.5. Yes, but it was 2.5 hours long, and again, it got parts in the middle were just kind of draggy, and the songs just kept coming at you one after another. And some of the parts where they couldn't get, I said they really needed Pern on this one because they could not get the gain right. It was so spiky loud on some of the microphones for some of the girls, and then a lot of the parts in the girls were them getting excited, so it was like ear piercing. Oh my god!
Because they didn't put a compressor on,
right. They didn't have anything on it to kind of stop the squeal. And it was
High School Musicals.
Just piercing.
Yeah.
And then when there was individual singing, which was fine level wise, but then when the groups got in, there were parts where the groups came in and it was like boom, and it was just because they're knocking you over because they had to put it up so high for the individuals, but then they weren't dialing it back and controlling that.
So it wasn't somebody riding this. Yeah.
Again, you were kind of hard in the middle of a song where you have solo parts and then group parts. So, and there were so many microphones
that's called having a sound enginer who knows what they're doing.
There was a lot of balance that needed to occur that was not happening. But again, I mean, for what it was, the play was very good. They had moving scenery parts, which were so cool in the idea of what they were doing, and of course there was always the one role.
Wasn't it based like in Italy, like in Tuscan or something like that?
Yeah, it was a Greek island.
Yeah,
I think it was like that kind of Sicily kind of an island that they did everything on. So they were like on a beach, and then there was like a boat scene, which was kind of funny, and that was at the end, and then it was really good. They did it really good, and it was very compartmentalized and small because it was high school, but they did really good. They were really good, and there was a lot of dance scenes and choreographed. And they also worked.
Was it just last weekend?
This was just last weekend.
Oh, so we can't go see it. So you tell us how good it is, and then we can't go see it.
Sorry,
Dave. You need to let us know like 2 weeks out that it's coming up, so we can go. Well,
sorry, no, I didn't even know until that week that we were going that week. You know, it was this weekend. Yeah,
Mamma Mia.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Was the show. Yeah.
That was the show. Yeah, and we had storms. The storms blew through.
Yeah, we had those storms. Like,
did you get hit with lightning and?
Oh yeah,
trees?
It was crazy. I was driving into work.
Trees usually hit your house. So
yeah,
is that
we've been luckily knock on wood this year. Been good with that.
I think you're pretty good.
As soon as I bought the chainsaw, the trees were like, oh, we ain't fucking with him anymore.
Look,
we're not fucking with that guy. He got a chainsaw. Fuck that. We're not coming down.
It's raining. It's just starting out near us. Dogs are kind of not really
nervous,
Lyndon
unsettled.
has no problem, but Phil has an issue. So he was in the basement, and I get a text, and it's my next door neighbor, and she goes, "Wow, you have a cow in your front yard." And I went, what the mother? What are you talking about? So I was like, what? And I was just like surprised. I went running out to the front door, and I'm looking around, and there's nothing in my front yard. It turned out the cow actually walked past my yard, through my yard, into my other neighbor's yard.
Oh, wow,
and
on the other side.
It was a cow. And we have a bunch of farms local in the area between us. And there's a winery
no chickens.
Down the
No chickens.
No.
Dude, we've talked about the chickens.
Yeah, the chickens. And it got into my neighbor's yard, but they're completely fenced. Except for the one side on my yard.
Jump the fence?
So it went around, got to the dead end, and started coming back towards us. Lisa, in her divine wisdom, thought she would be able to wrangle the cow. And so we got dog leads and everything, and we were going to.
Did she use an umbrella again?
I don't know. She was completely out in the pouring rain, came back sopping wet, was like.
No, I'm talking about the turtle, trying to get the turtle.
Fighting the turtle with the umbrella. No, we didn't. We didn't use the umbrella,
season one. Sorry.
She was going to wrangle it around its head and then kind of lead it around. But by the time we got everything organized and she started walking out, it was gone. It had gone across our yard and through another yard and then was just
because it's like, it's fucking raining, people. How do I get out of here? How the hell do I get out of here? Where am I?
Obviously,
it's fucking raining. Right. I'm moving. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, my neighbor and I were joking around.
Did you get that? Oh, sorry. No jokes tonight. No, sorry.
Puns are okay. But
puns are okay?
Puns are okay. They're not
because
really
it's not
jokes.
Pun's Fool's Day. April Punzel Day. That makes no sense. I don't know.
But we were making jokes about how we had steaks tonight, so it was kind of fun.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, of course, we'd have
freezers full of fresh
wrangle
meat.
Wrangle a cow.
Go get a cow.
But yeah, it was kind
of course, you'd have to slaughter it.
Of course,
and
right?
You'd just be like, scarred for life.
Yeah,
you'd be like, I had to cut up that cow.
You wouldn't believe this bird. Oh my God. I brought you steaks, but that was my weekend, and surprise, yes, had to have a cow.
Had to have a cow in your yard.
And Lisa, the cow whisperer, decided she was going to try to corral a cow.
I gotcha. Did you watch Saturday Night Live this week?
I didn't watch it. I did see all the promos and all the drama. We'll go to the drama afterwards.
We'll get to the drama of the post. Yeah.
Go ahead, okay.
I haven't watched a full episode of Saturday Night Live
from beginning to end
in years.
Okay.
Years. Right. I mean, I'm probably a good 10 plus years it's been since I've watched. I recorded it because Mikey Madison from Honora was hosting. She just won an Oscar, coming off the Oscar win. And I saw the movie a couple weeks ago. And I'm like, okay, we'll watch it. I'll record it on the DVR. And I did. And I watched it. And it was absolutely terrible.
Really?
The show was so bad. Like, it just wasn't even.
Did they not know what to do with her?
So, well, first of all, there were only 5 live skits in the show. The show's 90 minutes long. There were only 5. They had the cold open, which she was in for the first half, because then she's not in the second half of it because all the other cast members are doing their little scenes and they're taking her away to get her dressed to come out for her monologue.
For the next one.
So she's not even in when they go live from New York. She's not even in that. She had been taken okay,
whisked away.
Right, to get her costume change. And then, so she comes out, she does her monologue, and I mean, she, talks about all the Oscars and blah, 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 and everything, and, winning an Oscar and, stuff. And then she goes, oh, yeah, and everybody says, and wants to know, in Honora, did I do my own, dancing and stuff, because she's a stripper. And she goes, yeah, I did my own pole dancing. Oh, look, there's a pole right here. And then she walks over to this pole, and it goes to a pre-tape of this muscular dude in the same dress doing the pole,
like a Terry Crews,
which is exactly like, but it's obviously a guy wearing a wig and the dress doing the pole work and doing the splits and all the stuff. And then they cut back to her and she's like, ha, and everybody's like, oh yeah, like she's holding on the pole, like, cut from the second angle. But it was a pre-tape of this, part. And I'm like, okay, well, mildly funny. Okay, whatever. They go then into they went into the first live skit, and it was like for a commercial acting school or something. And, she's in that, and, I was like, okay. And, she gets up and she's like the star student in the acting school, for commercial ads. Like they work on, doing commercial ads. It was okay. Whatever. And then they go into a pre-taped song called Big Fat Line, where it's like, this whole, like, everybody's viral online and they're doing, and what do? You go find out, that you've heard about this pizza over so-and-so, and you get there and there's a big fat line, and like you have to wait in line for like 2 hours to get a piece of pizza. And then you find out there's a new Greek yogurt that's out and you have to go wait in.
Okay.
She's in parts of it, but she's not the main focus character in it. And it's a pre-tape. It's like, when Lonely Island used to do, the digital shorts.
Yeah,
and it's pre-recorded. It's not a live thing. And the song's like 3 or 4 minutes long. And it goes on, and it has like one of the Jonas Brothers sing the last chorus. I was just like, okay, it was a pre-tape. And I'm like, okay. They come back, go to commercial. They come back to the next live skit. It's one where they're doing jury duty and they're picking the jurors for it. And so each cast member comes up to say their thing to the judge, and the judge immediately is like, okay, we're not letting anybody go for work reasons. So if you have an excuse, come up.
Right.
She literally comes up and says like 2 or 3 lines, and then she's cut away, and then they cut to the next, cast member and go through this like long, like, and you don't see her again on screen after that skit for almost 45 minutes of actual time. Because after that, they come back and they go into another pre-tape, which was like Spring Break Engagement, where 2 of the cast members, they're getting engaged to fall in love. And she's like, I don't want to, get married yet. And it was this whole like, and it was funny. But again, another pre-tape, video.
So it wasn't Saturday night, not so live.
Not so much live.
Sort of live.
And then after that pre-tape, they come back, and Morgan Wallen, who's the musical guest, he performs his first song. Not a country fan, so fast forward to that. Okay. I'm not going to sit and watch problem. Morgan Wallen. Sorry, buddy.
First song.
First song.
He did 2, right?
He did 2. Hold on. So he does his first song. They come out of that, and then after they come out of the musical guest, they always go into Weekend Update.
Okay.
Which, Colin Jost and Michael Che Is it Michael Che?
Michael Che.
I know
yeah.
Che. Yeah. Anyway, they've been doing it for forever. Jost is the head writer on the show, and he's funny. I mean, he like, you know, he actually, his little pieces in Weekend Update were, I thought, the funniest parts out of the show. Okay. And like, because up to this point, I'm like, the show's really tanking. And this is like, you've got an Oscar winner who just won. And like, now we haven't seen her for 40 minutes because she hasn't been in. Like, okay.
Right.
They do Weekend Update. They come back. And so with Michael Che, why is he still on the show? Like, he's not in any sketches, and he only does Update. And honestly, I didn't think he was that funny on Update. Like, Colin Jost is like funny. I really like him, but Michael Che, I'm like, why are you still on the show, dude?
Are
why?
they
like,
not both writers though for it?
They are. They're both. You know, they are both writers, but I just don't get why. You know, that whole thing.
I get that.
Anyway, so they come back out of Weekend Update. They do this like mob family sketch, and again, Mikey Madison comes in for like the last 2 minutes. So she's not even in the first, like, you know, 5 to 10 pages of the sketch. She comes in as the wife, and, you know, she's doing a New York accent. We're in the mob and, you know, doing that whole thing. And then that's it. And the sketch is over, and it wasn't funny. And I'm like, okay, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
They go back to, then Morgan Wallen gets to do his second song.
Right.
And comes out again, country music, fast forward, not watching.
Second song.
They come back. It's called Midwife Barry, where she's a doctor, and there's one of the Asian guy on the show. I forget what his name is. He's a midwife, and his name's Barry, and they've met before, and they go through. This skit went on for like several minutes.
Way too long.
Like, got the joke.
Right.
Okay. It was funny. You know, there was one joke where, you know, the woman's laying on the table, and she's like, yeah, exactly. They're filling time. It's the 1 o'clock sketch or the 1:10 sketch, I think they call it, or something like that. That's like, we're in the back end of the show. We're just trying to get through this.
Trying to get to the end.
He did have one line that was funny. There was the woman on the table was, you know, ready to have her baby, and she's like, "Oh, the pain! Can I have the epidural?" And he just turns to her and goes, "Push that baby out, and you won't have any more pain." And I was like, "Oh, that's funny. That was actually funny. We'll just push the baby out. You won't have any more pain. You don't need the epidural. I'm a midwife." That was one of the funny lines of the show.
Nice.
They did that, and then, you know how Lonely Island used to do the digital shorts? It's a group of writers on the show. It's these 3 guys, and it's Do Not Destroy, and they do like little video bits, and they bring Mikey Madison in for that. But again, it's a pre-tape. It's like in the offices, and then she comes in dressed like Squidward.
Do you think
from
that
SpongeBob?
It could have been a scheduling thing that she couldn't get there for most of.
No, because when you do Saturday Night Live, you're there the whole week. You're from Tuesday, from the pitch to the pitches to the the table reads to the. You're there the whole week, and it just seemed like, I don't know. So again, this was another pre-tape. They recorded it earlier. Again, not so live anymore. And it was, this whole like, we're pitching, they're pitching the idea. Like, she comes in dressed as Squidward from SpongeBob. Okay. And then they're like, what's the deal with the outfit? And she's like, oh, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. And they just go and like, what if we came up with this idea for a dramedy that was SpongeBob, and, you know, how they're just friends hanging out in New York and all that. And it was just like, it wasn't that funny. That's the biggest laugh I think it probably got is from you right there, me telling you about what it was.
Right. I was envisioning it, but I'm sure it was a struggle. So that was another long one.
And it was pre-taped.
Right.
So that goes in. And then it goes to the very last thing is a sketch that's all her called, So like, What Are We? And it's like, she's the host of this game show, and she brings out guys she's dated, reads text to them, like, and like one of the lines, you know, she's like, oh my God, we had like sex 7 times last week. And then you like ghost me. Like, what do you call this? Or what are we? You know, like, you know, what does this mean to you? And that's like the bit of the game show. This is
sounds painful.
Seriously.
That one sounds struggly painful.
Yeah. This is the close to, you know, this is the last sketch of the show. They're just trying to push through to, you know, again, fill time.
Right.
Then after that, they actually go to a animated like digital short, and it was called Planning New York, and it's like the 2 guys on the like ship, you know, like Columbus or whatever, like, we should build a city here, and like let's make the street names this and make the subway confusing and do all that, you know, a thing. There's tunnels haven't been invented yet, but we'll make subways. And it was entertaining, and it was like a little animated thing, but that was the very last thing for the last commercial. They come back, and then they say the goodbyes. Right. So they had like 4 pre-taped segments,
right?
Again, and 5 sketches. It was like
2
it wasn't so
Weekend Update,
and there was literally like only like 2 or 3 funny lines in the whole show.
The audience must have been pissed.
I was just like,
if you got
can't
tickets
believe
for that, and you wanted to see actual
right, like hey, let's go see Saturday Night Live because it's funny, and then
everything's. I could have watched it on TV and seen everything, right.
So anyway, and then at the end, this is where the controversy happened. So Mikey Madison standing on stage with Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen, like, all right, good night, and like he goes, and then like the credits roll, and they go and hug each other,
right?
And he then literally steps off the front of the stage and just
towards
walks out
the camera, like,
and just like
blocks
towards the camera and like just walking out, leaving, and everybody on stage is like clapping and hugging each other and high fiving, and they're just like, what did he just up and left?
Did you see?
He just walked off stage and left.
You saw his post on social media.
Yes, right? And then it was not even 30 minutes later. He posted on social media like that he was on his private jet to get out of the city, get back to God's country.
Did you see what Keenan posted?
No, what did he say?
He posted the same thing about heading to God's country, but it was a Krispy Kreme donut truck. Oh. It was awesome as shit. I laughed for 20 minutes just because of that. It was pretty good. I was like, that's pretty good.
That's funny.
Definitely God's country.
Oh, that's God's country. Krispy Kreme.
I love Krispy Kreme.
Yes. Hallelujah.
That was pretty good. It was pretty good. I was laughing. It was pretty good.
That's funny. I think I follow Keenan. Why did I not see that?
That seemed like a big, like... Look, you didn't want to do it. Why'd you freaking do it then?
Why did you agree to do the show?
Why'd you even go?
Because they don't pay you that well to do the show.
No, and it's all for publicity.
Right.
You put your name out there.
Put your name out for your record or
and
whatever.
Get viewers to view and see it. Maybe he just didn't think the audience wasn't involved, or he didn't get treated right. I'm not exactly sure.
He couldn't wait to get out of there, to get out of the city because he doesn't like the city. Oh, like, whatever, dude.
I guess.
Whatever.
Well, it's city. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, did you get box office numbers this week?
I freaking did, and I also have some corrections from our entertainment stuff.
Oh, okay.
Captain America is at 400 mil for global, 200 mil each.
So Marvel's not dead yet.
No, they're still kicking along, and they've got a bunch.
Did you see the trailer? The teaser trailer for the new Avengers movie?
Oh, no.
You didn't see that?
No, I didn't.
It goes down.
Sure it's real?
Yes, it was. Yes, because Robert Downey Jr.'s in it.
Oh,
he's at the very last. Yeah, because he's Mr. Doom or whatever. And they go down this line of, and it's the Avengers music. Dun dun dun.
Right,
that thing.
Right.
And it's all of like the director and cast chairs with the names of the cast on the back of it, and it's like coming down the line so you can see everybody that's going to be in the movie. And then of course it ends with on Robert Downey Jr. And he's just like, shh, don't say anything. All
right, because I think there was a reveal that there was someone in it that they didn't think that was going to be in it. That was on one of the chairs. So
gotcha.
I did see that, but I didn't. I don't remember who it was. But there was one. Yeah. Batista and Fassbender have never been in a movie.
Been in a movie together.
Never, ever. Man. And did you hear there's talks of a third Dune movie?
I knew that. I knew that there was supposed to be a part 3.
I didn't think there was a 3. I thought they were done. I mean,
when are we getting Horizon Part 2? That's what I want to know. Come on. I'll watch Horizon Part 2 more times than I'll watch Dune Part 3.
Yeah, it was
oh my gosh.
So yeah, you got we talked about this. This was this Statham movie that got number 1 Jason Statham. Yep. 15 mil. Snow White dropped to 14 too.
Wow.
This is one Chosen One. Last Supper was number 3.
Okay,
11.4.
Wait, where did the unicorn come in?
I'm still getting there.
Oh my god!
The Woman in the Yard got 4th at 9.4.
No idea what that is.
I think it was a horror one where the woman does. No, that's the one with the one in the clown in the cornfield. I can't remember. They all seem
with the monkey.
Same. With the monkey. He is a monkey, yes. And
like the Maxine and X movies, you mean? That character?
No, totally the different one. This is I don't know. Even a different one.
Okay.
The Woman in the Yard. Anyway. And then Death of a Unicorn.
At number 6.
5.7. That's 5.
And was that a wide release too?
It was wide release.
How many theaters? Was that like 2,700 theaters?
I didn't get a count on that. I should get those. But no, I did not get that one. But yeah, 5.7, not exactly spectacular, but I just don't know if it got any kind of news. I saw Paul Rudd on the Today Show last week.
And Paul Rudd was on something else too.
Where was everybody else? There were a lot of names in this one.
Yeah. I'm shocked and I'm not shocked because when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, no. And apparently a lot of other people agree with me. Like,
well,
no.
obviously, 5.7.
If it only did 5.7. Okay, so I'm not crazy.
Nah, this will be a good Netflix one, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Streaming, whatever. I mean, if it's like Cocaine Bear or Snakes on a Plane or something like that, or like Death of a Unicorn. I mean, I get it. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know if my homework was part of entertainment, but everything that I had was Disney related. So, the Epcot fire.
Yes, the Epcot fire. How did that happen?
A walk-in cooler caught fire behind the France Pavilion. It closed the pavilion for a while and was reopened in an hour before the park was scheduled to close. And you could see the smoke from the Skyliner, which is, goes right there next to Epcot and through that area. So yeah, it was impressive. But it was not any kind of like, it was nothing, right? It was just an outside or anything. It was just a lot of smoke. Yeah. And of course it was burning something because it was black. It was dark. It was
something toxic was burning.
Smoke going on. You had mentioned the GO82.
GO82.
This is an adult lounge.
Yes, I said that.
Where you can wax nostalgic about the days of Spaceship Earth opening in 1982, hence GO82. And they're going to have a bunch of memorabilia from the time, and also around, I guess, the opening of Spaceship Earth.
I gotcha.
And it is coming in 2025, so it's actually coming.
It's supposed to be later this year. There was no date set. They just said it was going to be this year,
right?
But they don't have an open date yet.
You know how you can enter Spaceship Earth from the front of the park, right?
Yes.
On the opposite side, there's a like a walk-through pavilion that dumps you out on the opposite on each side of the. There is an area outside of, in between those, which I think is like an open space that they've converted into this place. And it's not going to be huge, but it's only for
it's reservation only
adults, right? And it's going to be small. So it's not going to be huge. So it's probably going to be kind of like the Star Wars Cantina kind of scenario.
I don't know. I haven't been to it.
That place was small. I mean, it was probably the size. It felt like the size of your dining room. I mean, it was
supposed to be a cantina. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's a bar, right? And it was a bar, but it was closed in. I mean, that was kind of tight. Yeah. And they had a waiting, like a line of people going out. And we were like, oh, when we went, it was busy. It was I guess it was the holidays. When we go on the holidays. Yeah. So it was crowded, but we walked up and we said, well, do we need a reservation? They go, oh no, we'll get you in here in a minute. And we just kind of stood in line behind 3 other people that were in line. And then those went in and people came out. And then as soon as they went in, we were going in. So I was like, okay, well,
so it wasn't too bad.
That's great. But, I mean, it was cramped. We were elbow to elbow with a bunch of people trying to get drinks, and it was hard because you were struggling against someone
for some blue
at
cow
the bar.
Milk or whatever.
Well, at the bar, they had some really nice drinks. They had one that numbed you.
So, Dave, this is what a real bar is like. So that's
is that
why
what that is?
Yeah.
Well, in Disney, you kind of you want to just get served.
you want your asshole licked. I know, whatever.
Well,
I got it.
But again, it's I don't want to be fighting for a drink. He was.
Dave's never been to a real bar before.
Pee Wee Herman played the robot character from.
Character.
You know what? Lisa's screaming at it. So in the ride,
Rubens.
Star Wars, right? The Star Wars, the first ride. He plays the shuttle pilot. He's
the voice
robot.
of the voice of the shuttle.
He plays the voice of the pilot in the ride until they switched over and made it R2D2 and C3PO. So he was moved over to the cantina and is a DJ in the cantina.
Oh, that's funny.
Which is kind of cool because he also has some voice work in that, but it's not really.
I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll get to go to Galaxy's Edge.
You might get to go.
Maybe one day. One can only dream. Maybe one day.
When we finally get sponsors, we might have to do they always have those specials on ABC where they are at Disney World.
Yes, exactly. That's what we need. We need to talk to ABC to say, hey, we need
some crossover. And then
we'll do our show from Disney all week long.
Yeah. So
for free.
I had that. You showed me a shot of the new Buzz Lightyear stuff.
Oh yeah.
I do have that on here that they're closing it soon for a major
It's updates. The Toy Story ride, right?
Yeah. So you basically sit in a car and you shoot the little zappers.
Yeah. And like Zorg and then by the time try to knock them out. And then you get your score.
Shooting for batteries and it's all toy related, but it's.
Yeah. Oh no, wait. Or which one's the 3D one? Or is there, what am I thinking of? I swear to God, in the toy store when there was the one where then the pies are getting thrown out and you got to shoot the pies out of the
Mania.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a totally different mechanism for shooting.
Right.
This was, the trigger one is the Buzz Lightyear one.
Yeah.
The Midway Mania is you pull the string and it shoots
yes, there you go.
And it's all
oh my God.
screen related.
I had those crossed up in my head.
I know
as two different things,
but they're in it too.
Yeah.
So, the same characters, all the little claw guys are in that one too, the green men.
Gotcha.
They were announcing free dining plans at Disney, if you care.
Wow. Great news.
When you want to go, you can get free dining plans on selected dates. You can't really do it all.
Yeah.
And
we always need something to cut. Okay.
The Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After is coming out on May 27th, along with a new Little Mermaid adventure ride being updated.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah, you got a couple things
coming down.
Right. And then they're going to have a whole Villains Land. There's a whole uproar about them closing.
Oh, yeah. By the
boat.
Hall. Oh, I thought it was Hall of Presidents. What?
No, they're closing Tom Sawyer's Island.
Can't remember. Yes.
And the Rivers of America.
Yep.
Right there.
Yep.
And that's this whole big uprising because they're putting Cars stuff and then a Villains Land.
Yeah.
In there.
Even though you have to go to LA for Cars stuff.
Yeah.
And,
right.
There's nothing
there is anything. But again, a lot of that pulls fans to the different parks because they have different things.
Yeah.
If you have everything at all the parks, then why would Floridians go to California and why would Californians go all the way to Florida if the same things are going to be there?
You've heard of that thing where you're supposed to be able to do both parks in one day, East and West Coast, where you wake up, you stay the night on property at Disney.
Okay.
And then you wake up and you go to the Magic Kingdom first thing as soon as it opens on a day when it's the early
right, the rope drop, so you can go right in, right?
So you can go early, and you get your picture taken in front of the castle, and then you book it to the airport, and you have a flight already scheduled that flies you to California because it's going to be 5.5 hour flight,
right?
And you basically by dinner time you're in LA at the castle in Disneyland.
Well, the good thing is you're also fighting time zones, so if you're going that direction, you're getting extra time.
You're going back in time.
Yeah, you're getting some time. Too. So when you land,
but you can't do it the other way around.
A lot of daylight, right?
Yeah.
So, but
that's
all
the
you're
thing.
doing
People
is getting
do
a
this.
picture and
Disney
then flying
fans,
off, then what did you really pay for to
it's
go
a
into
whole
the parks?
Disney fan challenge thing where you do, and I'm just stupid. That sounds just I don't understand.
Dumb. If you had season passes at Florida, I could see that maybe, but then you don't have it at Disney. So you're buying a whole ticket, but then you're in California for the end of it. So you could kind of hang out, but I don't know. That seems like a really stupid challenge.
I'm not sure. I was just wondering if you'd.
That is a weird challenge. I haven't heard about that one.
Okay. Something earlier this week I found out about, and I didn't know if you knew about this. Since we're talking about animation and stuff real quick, staying in the entertainment field.
Right.
Did you know that Chris Farley had recorded 85% of his vocal takes for Shrek?
No.
Before he died.
No, I did not know that.
85% of his lines were done.
Mike Myers.
He was supposed to be Shrek. He was originally cast as Shrek. And then after he passed is when they went to Mike Myers and said, hey, we need and Mike Myers came in and, made the character,
his.
Yes, exactly. And I can't think of anybody but Mike Myers' voice in Shrek. It's
Agreed.
just like
agreed. Right.
It's just that, because it was like iconic character. And I actually got to hear some of the lines that were Chris Farley's lines.
Right.
And it was almost like if you just kind of took Jack Black and put him in an animated movie like that. I mean, it was just like, it was funny. It was cute, but Mike Myers made Shrek.
Yeah, I think.
And I mean, love Chris Farley. He was great.
Of that same, I guess, character work that he does in a lot of his roles.
Yeah.
I mean, I was hearing a lot of Austin Powers / and
Shrek,
and axe murderer kind of voices in all of his roles. So you kind of get that bleed over. But you always did with certain characters. You always know you can hear them.
But I didn't find that out till this week that Chris Farley was originally cast as Shrek, and he had finished 85% of his voice work.
Wow.
With recasting with Mike Myers, I'm like, because Chris Farley died. Like, how do you have no franchise anymore? You now have to recast the voice.
Yeah, it would always be that way.
There was confirmation this week that John Wick 5 is confirmed.
Really?
Apparently,
I heard there was going to be a spin-off.
Keanu Reeves in a wheelchair, And no, I'm kidding. That's the April Fool's joke. April Fool's. No, John Wick 5 is no. John Wick 5 is actually confirmed.
It is.
Don't know if Keanu Reeves will be in a wheelchair.
I did see a spinoff though, where it's a female assassin, and he's in the role of a kind of
like he's still in his role, but it's not his story or his person to go.
Kind of in it. They show him in it for like, I don't know. And I don't even know if that was real or not, but I did see something.
Did you see it today?
No.
Okay. Then there's a chance it's real.
It's been a while.
Oh, okay. Because I was just thinking that, because April
today?
Fool's, all the,
who knows
the jokes
what the
and stuff.
Going on right now. We'll have to have that
all the
back.
fake, well, I mean, half the internet's fake anyway, but.
Well, that's true. Well, speaking of fake, I have a list and I don't know.
No, hold on.
No.
I tell you, I did my homework.
Oh, you have more. Oh,
I did my homework.
I totally forgot. You have more entertainment news.
Well, yeah. Did you remember what you told me to watch?
The Residence.
Long pause. The Residence. I watched the first 2 episodes and it's just a good old fashioned whodunit. And it's just like that's how they're playing it. It's campy enough to where it's just like, it's an old fashioned. Oh, you see, it was done with the lead pipe in the kitchen.
They
it was
keep
like
complaining
it's like
about
you're watching
it being
Clue.
that, right?
Yeah, if you're watching Clue the movie and like just an old fashioned whodunit solve it movie in the White House.
Yeah, they play that up too, by the way. There's a little bit of that because everything is happening in one night.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did start. I'm on episode 2. I'm going to continue watching it.
Yeah,
I think it's funny how she goes out and like bird watches and stuff.
The whole time.
Yeah,
and it gets her thinking, but then she sees stuff.
Yeah, and then she's trying to solve the whole thing.
It plays through the whole thing that way. But I love that they brought in Franken for the senator.
Oh yeah, Al Franken,
right?
because he was actually
good, right?
That's really good. He's been on those committees before.
So he
was
knows
he Minnesota?
The role.
Is that where he was?
He was in Minnesota. Yeah,
and the whole
that's pretty good. So he did that role really well.
Also I found another article that the deal is actually almost done for Ketchup Entertainment to purchase the Coyote Acme movie, and they said that now the release will be sometime in 2026.
Oh, well, there
we go. And it will
go.
come out in theaters. It only cost, the budget on that movie was only $50.
How is that possible?
Yeah, with a movie with animation, unless it looks like Roger Rabbit, where it's like true. Laid over. And if it does, I kind of might dig that nostalgia kind of,
Have you watched Roger Rabbit in a while?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think it holds itself?
Besides the racist jokes in it?
Some of those,
no,
yes.
I mean,
and the sexist ones, yes.
Yeah, the sexist jokes about, she's drawn well and that? And the whole, all right.
Being a cartoon and all.
What was the question again?
Do you think it holds up? Like the effects and everything in it are animated, but there's many real effects to it.
The real effects are great because that nowadays that type of stuff would be animated
anyway,
in
CGI.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so
and they had real effects
version.
And yes, exactly. Who Framed Roger? Oh God, please! I hope they don't do that. Please, I like the nostalgic old way it was shot for its time when that came out. That was groundbreaking. I was like, oh my gosh, the animation in
when he shoots the water out, it's actually just a hose that they animated over that shot the water out. And it was like, well, that's still thinking, right? That's actually putting true effects, which he's interacting with anyway. In real life, it wasn't cartoon water that came out of him, so that was even more a feature. But I liked that.
I don't know. I might need to watch Roger Rabbit tonight after you leave.
Right?
I might have to.
I know, right?
To see that. So anyway,
yes,
cool. Coyote versus Acme will be out sometime in 2026.
Cool.
The deal's like think next to done or already signed. So
that's awesome.
I was like, cool.
That's awesome. 2026. Can't wait.
Let's I hope it's a huge hit.
Put it on
That'd
the list.
Be really great.
Exactly.
You said you were talking about.
I have a list and I found it online, and I get these dumbass lists all the time and they make no sense. Most of them don't. This one, of course, is really long, so we can rattle them off really quick. But it's the state sandwiches. I guess it's
every state has its own.
I don't think it officially has
signature sandwich, but
agreed.
It's like the state flower or the state bird. Or the state, but now it's the state sandwich.
What it would be famous
Sandwiches.
for. And some of them make sense, some of them don't. Do you want to just go like flying through the list here.
Do you have them in alphabetical order?
I do.
How do you?
I
just go down
have them in alphabetical
order.
order.
Yeah. Okay.
Alabama, chicken with white barbecue sauce. Alaska is salmon sandwich.
Ooh.
Arizona is a fried bread taco. Arizona is deep.
You just said Arizona.
I said Arkansas. Sorry, it's Arkansas. Arizona.
Wait, so who has a what? What was the last one?
Arkansas. Oh, Alaska is salmon sandwich.
I heard that one. And then
Arizona
the next one was
is fried bread tacos. Arizona is deep fried catfish sandwich.
You just said Arizona twice again.
Arizona, Arkansas. Sorry, that's Arkansas. I have them. I knew I was going to have a problem figuring out the abbreviations of the friggin' states.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas.
Okay,
Arkansas is a deep fried catfish sandwich,
which does make sense.
Makes more sense, right?
Go.
California Avocado Club. Colorado is the Denver sandwich, which I had no idea what that meant. I had to read the description.
Like a Denver omelet.
It's a Denver omelet on bread. On bread, basically. Yeah. Connecticut is the Connecticut hamburger, which is a hamburger on sliced bread.
It's not a Connecticut bow tie?
Bun. No, it's not that one.
Okay.
Delaware is the soft-shelled fried crab sandwich. Florida has the Cuban sandwich, which was ham, pork, Swiss, pickles on Cuban bread. Georgia is the, of course, fried chicken sandwich, which is basically your Chick-fil-A. Yeah. Hawaii is the Kahlua-style pork sandwich.
Of course.
Idaho is just a meat your maker sandwich. This thing looked like a heart attack on a bun.
Meat
it is. It was on top steak, of Italian sausage, bacon, and others. They didn't actually have a list of the other meats, and this thing was all on like one sub roll. I mean,
my gosh.
You really needed friends to eat
Road
this thing.
trip.
It was huge.
Road trip. Let's go.
Illinois is the horseshoe sandwich. It's an open-faced, thick bread choice of meat sandwich, fried and added secret cheese sauce on top. Some of these have like some weird toppings to them too. The Indiana is the Hoosier sandwich, which I didn't know was a thing. Breaded pork tenderloin on a sandwich. The Iowa is the Tavern or loose meat sandwich, and it's unseasoned, which I thought was weird, beef with sauteed onions and condiments. Unseasoned beef, like why? Anyway,
Kansas with something.
Kansas is the Runza or the Beer Rocks, which is a bread pocket with beef, cabbage or sauerkraut, onions, and seasoning. The Kentucky is called a hot brown sandwich, which I was laughing about. It's the hot brown.
The hot brown.
It's an open-faced turkey and bacon with cheese Mornay sauce, which a Mornay sauce is a French velvet sauce of cheese added to a bechamel foundation. Because we watch the Bear all the time. Some of those things are funny.
Of course.
Just knowing that was kind of what that was. The Louisiana is a po' boy, which is basically just French bread stuffed with roast beef or fried seafood. The Maine is the lobster roll. Maryland is the crab cake sandwich, which has got to be their
obvious
blue crab, right? It's not just that other stuff. This one was weird. I think Massachusetts. Yeah, MA is Massachusetts. The Fluffernutter. It's peanut butter and marshmallow fluff on bread.
I've heard
this
of
one rears its ugly head in another state where they did their own variation of this thing. Michigan is the corned beef sandwich. Minnesota is the Juicy Lucy, which is basically a burger. It's two patties with cheese sandwiched in between them. And it's
fried
with
sandwich bread, not a bun?
It's on a bun. It's a burger bun, but it's just burger, but it's
how do you make
two patties?
Okay. Well, I mean, a hamburger is a sandwich technically, I guess. But a hot dog is not a sandwich. That's my God, that's a whole other debate.
The brat does come up down the line here.
Okay,
let's go. Do some of the hot dog ones. So it's kind of a weird one. But
where are we on the list?
We're in Mississippi.
Mississippi. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go.
The pig ear sandwich. It's what you think it is. It's chewy, two tender pig ears.
That's chewy.
I can only imagine. Missouri is a herbed sandwich. It's basically an open-faced garlic French bread with ham, provolone, and paprika. It just sounds good. This is the Montana, which is just a PBJ. But the PBJ is with huckleberry jam. That's what they're famous for.
What state was that again? Sorry, I was talking.
That was Montana. Nebraska is the Reuben, the classic Reuben. Yep. Nevada, this one is insane. It's called the Heart Attack Grill.
Oh, yeah, and the Vegas Strip.
5 patties, cheese, and bacon with a side of fries.
Yes.
This thing actually served at this one restaurant. I believe they have staff on hand
medical
if you
staff.
do happen to
Yes,
get
absolutely.
and nurses on staff.
Oh, no. The nurses are naughty nurses.
Yeah,
Dave.
right. Yeah,
They're naughty nurses that deliver your meal.
Actual medical staff on site for this heart attack.
Sure, but the nurses, they're the naughty nurses.
New Hampshire is the ham and cheese Monte Cristo with syrup, not the traditional. I think it's a jam, like a raspberry jam that they put on the regular Monte Cristo, like a French one.
Sure.
This one's maple syrup. New Jersey is the Jersey breakfast sandwich, which is basically thick cut ham and egg on a Kaiser roll. New Mexico is the green chili burger.
Okay.
New York is the pastrami on rye.
I was about to say New York better be like a pastrami.
Yeah, right? Or the Reuben. I would have seen the Reuben too on that one too.
Reuben double
North Carolina is a pulled pork sandwich. North Dakota is the smoreboard, which I think I'm pronouncing that right. It had a bunch of tildes over the O's. It's smoreboard.
What state is that?
That is North Dakota.
North Dakota.
An open-faced rye with roast beef, salmon, Harlesburg cheese, which I think is a Swiss type of cheese, pickled
it's a
herring,
very expensive type of cheese,
honey, and possibly a hard-boiled egg.
Okay.
That is a lot of stuff on a sandwich.
That is a lot.
Right?
What state are we on and how many more of these do we have?
We are in Ohio.
Are we
we're
close?
more than halfway.
Oh my God. Let's go. Let's move.
Ohio is the Polish boy. It's a kielbasa. That's the kielbasa with fries. Actual fries, barbecue, and slaw on this thing. Oklahoma is the chicken fried steak. The Oregon is the falafel pita. Philadelphia, of course, is the Philly cheesesteak. Rhode Island is the dynamite sandwich, which is basically just a sloppy Joe. South Carolina is tuna melt. South Dakota is the walleye sandwich, which is just a flaky fried fish. Tennessee is the Presley fluffernutter. This is the one I was talking about.
The fluffernutter. The Presley fluffernutter with banana.
Right? Good grab. Peanut butter and marshmallow with bacon and bananas.
Yeah,
that is
I actually knew about that.
Texas is the brisket. Utah is a pastrami burger. This burger has a 1/4 pound of pastrami on it with the burger.
I like pastrami. I don't love pastrami.
I know, right?
I can't even.
Vermont has the Vermonter, which is, classic name. Turkey ham, Vermont cheese, green apple, and honey mustard. Virginia just has the grilled ham and cheese. Washington
fucking Virginia
is a banh mi. It's a pate.
What state?
This is Washington.
Washington. Okay.
Pate sub with chunky vegetable slaw, fish sauce, and jalapenos or cilantro. It's a Vietnamese special. So there's a large Vietnamese contingency, I think. Yeah. DC has just the chili half smoke. West Virginia is the apple and turkey sandwich. Wisconsin is the sausage roll or brat bun.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one. It's just sauerkraut. But they also put cheese curds on that one.
Do you like sauerkraut?
You know what?
I can't recall the last time I had it, and I can't recall the taste of it. I might have to try sauerkraut.
That might be a thing.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Wisconsin, last one, bison meatball sandwich. Oh, and basically it's just the Italian sandwich, but with bison.
With bison balls.
Yep. There you go.
Gotcha.
50. Quick.
Right, cool.
51 actually, because DC was.
Well, yeah, DC was also in there. Yeah. Well, it was Puerto Rico.
I did not have that one.
Oh my God! Sorry. Find out what next. That's homework for next week. Finding out what Puerto Rico's sandwich is.
Do we want to find any of the other islands or anything?
Because,
just that one?
No, because they can't vote. So
that's true. That's true. So we should get Puerto Rico. Exactly. No problem. I added that to my list.
I've got something for our taste test, which again we don't make a big deal about because it's just a taste test. It's just our regular test.
So this is this week's taste test.
I was saving these. I got these 2 weeks ago when I was at Walmart.
Right, because they're out
when I got the Oreos.
Right, because they're out.
When I found this, and they had like the Easter stuff and down the Easter section.
Right.
So I was going down the Easter section, and they had the wall of Peeps.
A wall
of Peeps. It was higher than me. It goes, floor to ceiling of
just
Peeps.
Regular Peeps or these
it's an all mixed kind of special of Peeps. It's different flavors.
Oh no.
And there's some flavors here. I think I've seen one of these before.
Okay.
But I don't know if I've seen the other two. So I bought 3 packs of Peeps, and we're going to taste test some Easter Peeps.
You
love the marshmallow. I'm going to go get some coconut and drizzle it all over it.
Well. I'm
some
surprised
caramel.
It doesn't have a surprise coconut center.
Well, this first one almost is right up that alley because they are the Dr. Pepper Peeps. And I know how you love Dr. Pepper.
Oh my gosh.
Dr. Pepper and a mushroom.
And a mushroom.
And marshmallow. Oh my God!
Wow, there is a combo. This should be lovely. Trying to open these. How big are these things?
They're just normal size Peeps. They're just why can't I open this bag?
I think a lot of the times these candies are now getting smaller, so this might not be
it might not be as bad as what you think it's going to be.
Because I remember them being.
They still look to be about the same size.
Oh, those look smaller. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe because I'm bigger. I don't know.
Okay. On the packaging, it says 10 chicks.
10 chicks. So 10 chicks in your pack.
10 chicks. All right.
Okay,
handing
here
you
we
yours.
go.
Here's
Nice.
even giving you
should be
the
interesting.
end one with all the
I
extra
didn't
double
know
sugar
it was
on it.
this big. Oh, yeah. I guess it is.
Exactly.
Wow.
So this is a Dr. Pepper flavored. Now, I love Dr. Pepper, but Dave doesn't like Dr. Pepper.
No, not my favorite.
Not his favorite thing.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying mine.
It is definitely just a marshmallow with flavoring on the outside. I don't know. I am getting some of the Dr. Pepper. I am tasting it. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's not horrible.
But
I'm not gagging like normal. These aren't bad.
Not bad because you can taste the Dr. Pepper in the back of your tongue.
And the sugar is just
like Dr. Pepper.
Bouncing off the walls.
I actually like these.
They're not bad. They're not bad. It's not bad.
I couldn't sit down and eat like 6 boxes of them, but
you could. Could you finish off those 10 though? I mean, that's a lot of Peeps.
I'm going to save them for my kids tomorrow.
Oh, I can imagine.
Because
yeah.
All right, so I give thumbs up to the Dr. Pepper Peeps.
You're okay with the Dr.
I'm
Pepper.
cool, but you're just like right?
I can do that.
No thumb up or down. You're just in the middle.
I am actually.
Okay.
It's not horrible. And as far as eating just a straight, Jesus God.
Oh, you are still chewing.
Oh,
well, at least you're finishing it. You didn't give it back to me to throw in the trash.
That's true too.
So you've done that in the past. You're like, trash.
But as for eating just straight marshmallows, because that's kind of what this is just taking a bag of marshmallows and popping them in your mouth. It's not bad.
Gotcha.
But it's because it's covered in sugar.
Of course. And they all are because they have to be.
Right. That's what all the flavoring is.
All right. So the next one is the Peeps Breyers Cookies and Cream. You can see a picture of it.
There we go. Okay. Yeah.
So it's Breyers, actual,
Breyers ice cream flavored cookies and cream.
And the little chicks are white with they look like cow chicks.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah.
It's chocolate sprinkled on the top. So
there you go.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull this apart.
Okay.
So
nice.
At first I thought it was like mixed into the marshmallow.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not. It's actually like sprinkled on the top.
Oh, that's funny.
Isn't that cute?
It looks like hair.
It is.
It's like chocolate hair.
But it's like little tiny flakes, these little tiny flakes of chocolate on for the cookies and cream part. Okay. Oh my God. I almost stuck that in my mouth at the same time. We both would have been just sitting here going,
chewing. I can chew around mine. Yum.
I've done it before.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not getting the same overt flavor as I did with the Dr. Pepper because I can tell Dr. Pepper. And it just tastes kind of vanilla-y. And I'm not getting any of the chocolate because
I'm not getting any of the chocolate
because the marshmallow is just overpowering.
Where's the cookies part? It's definitely the cream.
That is just a plain marshmallow.
Vanilla, but it's just a plain marshmallow with, that's
right. And I kind of get a little bit of the crunchy flavoring, like the sugary
But it's just sugary. It's not chocolate.
No. And it's not adding anything to it.
I'm gonna go thumbs down on those.
Yeah, to give that a name.
I don't even have to. Yeah, the fact that Breyers tied in with the Peeps people,
I agreed to that.
a cookies and cream, and it just tastes like a Peeps marshmallow.
Yeah, it just tastes like marshmallow. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh.
And I don't even know.
Well, now I'm absolutely possibly be disappointed by this third one because now the Dr. Pepper one's the best one so far.
The best one. I would have to agree with out of the three.
So the third one I got
straight marshmallow
is the Kellogg's Rice Krispie Treats.
Oh no,
Peeps.
Oh.
Now I don't know if there's actual real Rice Krispies in this or if it's just going to be Rice Krispie flavored.
How do you do
let
that?
me open this.
I would say that if it's dust, it's like the last dregs of your Rice Krispie box. It's just the powder.
Yeah. Oh my God! This chick has 3 eyes.
Oh, sweet mother of Christ! That's a freak.
Give you that
funny
one.
As hell.
Dude.
Oh, I need more eyes
God,
in my food.
Got you
yes,
that one.
please.
That was so funny.
That's funny as hell. Oh, sweet mother of Christ! It does.
The chick has 3 eyes.
Oh,
I'm scarred. Right. My Easter.
You should be.
Scarred.
Okay, now I don't even see that would have. Okay, so they kind of are close to what a Rice Krispie treat would be, being marshmallow and Rice Krispies. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There are no Rice Krispies, like visible Rice Krispies on this thing.
No,
it's just. Yeah, I mean,
and each chick has 2 or 3 eyes.
3 eyes. It needs to be
go for
eyes.
it.
Okay.
So Dave's downing his.
Okay.
I almost was going to try mine first, that one, but you know. Is it better than the cookies and cream?
It's better than the cookies and cream.
Okay, cool.
But I'm not getting. Oh, that's Rice Krispie.
Oh, really?
It seems like the powdery stuff is trying to be the Rice Krispie treat flavor.
Okay, I'm going to try
all
mine.
in that.
Okay.
And then you've also got the marshmallow. So it's kind of like weird in that the flavor of the crust is Rice Krispie treat, and then you have marshmallow in the middle, which is even more marshmallow. Like they've over marshmallowed the marshmallow treat
or something,
and you're not getting any Rice Krispie flavor into it. But it would have been good if it was just speckled with Rice Krispies like feathers.
Yeah, like,
that would have been funny, right, or really good. But I don't know if they can use Rice Krispie products in this because Peeps isn't Kellogg's, I guess.
Or maybe they are. We just have to read the label on them.
Oh, we might have to.
Anyway,
maybe
okay, I'm going to go probably thumbs down on the Rice Krispie treat one.
Yeah, I'm not getting any kind of difference as part.
If you like the classic Peeps, get your classic Peeps, the yellow or the blue or whatever.
That's just sugar.
But the Dr. Pepper ones, I'm going to say give them a try. If you're a Dr. Pepper fan, absolutely. If you like Dr. Pepper and you like Peeps, I mean,
they actually tasted
together,
like something.
But it actually tasted like Dr. Pepper Peeps.
I hate Dr. Pepper.
Oh my God, Dave. Yeah. That's his sour cream almost.
Nah.
Not quite, almost there.
If I was
you think coconut's higher?
I would coconut. It'd be coconut, Dr. Pepper, and
really,
yeah, and guacamole. That 1, 2, 3. I can't do guacamole.
Oh my God!
Either. We had this discussion.
I don't even
at the
know
house
you.
Today.
I don't even guacamole. What are you doing?
You know, a lot of people would say the same thing about sour cream. To be honest with you.
Oh my God!
Guacamole. I can't do guacamole. I just avocado just has a weird texture.
Has a weird taste.
It's the texture. It's more texture.
Oh my gosh! So we were watching the hockey game before we came on.
Yeah, no goals
watching the
from
Caps game.
No goals from Ovechkin tonight. But
what? No, yeah, he did. He had that power play goal. So
tonight.
Ovechkin.
Tonight.
You were so enthralled with your house problem right now that you were ignoring.
That's true. I almost did not.
Yes, Ovechkin scored tonight in Boston, which was also Ryan Leonard's NHL debut. Last week, my correction is I called him Riley Leonard, and that's actually one of the adult league players at my rink.
Oh, that's
which I probably shouldn't be saying somebody's full name, but I did. But Ryan Leonard signed his deal with the Capitals yesterday because he finished his sophomore year at Boston College, and he was the #1 goal scorer for the season and like their star player and all that stuff. And then, so his season ended and he signed his contract, and all of his teammates were around him in the picture that they took, after he signed his NHL contract, which I thought was great because he's like, good. Still, these guys are his team,
and he just left them, right?
And they're all, and now he's leaving them, as a sophomore when he, to go to the NHL to go play with the Capitals, which is like, to go to the NHL is everybody's dream.
Of course.
He's 19. He signed his entry level contract, so he gets paid $950,000 a year, a season. That's as his entry level contract for the first 3 years,
league minimum.
And then after that, he can start making bank,
and
take get the 9 to 10.
Himself.
Hopefully,
get in there.
Got 3 years to do it, and I'm
playoffs
really
are coming up. It could be a thing.
He could be one of those rare exceptions where, like, I think it was there was somebody from Montreal Canadiens. We talked about it on a previous episode. He was he won the Stanley Cup with the team,
right?
But his rookie season was the next season because he came in late. Ryan Leonard came in,
real games,
and he played some games and played in the playoffs, and then wins the Stanley Cup with the team. But that wasn't his rookie season. His rookie season doesn't start until he starts his first full season. So he had already won a Stanley Cup with the team.
God, that's got to be hard.
Yeah, that's got to be.
I mean,
exactly.
Where do you go from there, right?
But anyway, Ryan Leonard, I screwed his name up again. Jesus Christ. He's the future of possibly this team and this franchise after Ovechkin retires. And so I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, I screwed his name up for the 8th time. And so we'll keep track of this when it's, 20 years down the road. And like, Joe Beninati's saying about, Ovechkin that he's got some work to do if he wants to catch Gretzky in his first season. And
he's got to work.
Goes, well, he's really going to have to work if he ever wants to, or something like that.
Right. But Ovi got another one then.
So Ovi, is at 891. He needs 3 to tie, 4 to pass, which could happen by the weekend. I'm getting so excited.
Wow.
So Ovi,
wow.
5 goals away.
Wow.
Which is awesome.
Wow.
The other thing that I was going to say too is that when Ovi's scoring these goals, the fans, these are in these away games, the fans are getting up and cheering for him that are like the opposing team's fans. Like everybody in the arena is applauding because they know that they're seeing Ovechkin almost get, and like to see it in Winnipeg the other night. The Winnipeg fans stood up and cheered when he scored. Tonight in Boston, the Boston fans stood up and cheered when he scored. And it was just like his wife immediately was like, she's pulling out her phone to record, goes, oh my God, they're cheering for him. All these Bruins jerseys are
I do
cheering
remember
for
you
my
saying
husband.
that now. So yes, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and then in a last thing, in we don't seem to follow news. March Madness is almost over. All the number one seeds made it through the men's bracket to the final four.
Okay.
And in the women's, 3 of the 4 final seeds are number 1 seeds.
Oh, wow.
And the other ones are number 2. So I mean that,
I don't
those
follow
things they seem to think break
the
brackets because no one really picks the number ones to go all the way.
Oh,
so it's kind of freaking everyone out that all these
number ones are
should
now
make up for some good NCAA basketball here coming up. Duke's favored, so whatever.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Go Duke. Blue Devils? Is that
Blue
who they
Devils? There you go. Look at you.
Okay. I don't follow college sports.
I know. But I just throw that in there because we don't really follow, but I'm sure there's people out there that do.
Wow, that was a lot of stuff this week.
We were saving up for that long.
Seriously, I don't know what was going on with that, but that just
out a little bit.
Wow.
Well, it was the 50 sandwiches.
The 50 sandwiches and
I'll try to keep my list a little smaller.
Sorry, my Saturday Night Live went along too. I might cut some of that. I don't know. I might go back. It went. I was like, I was hating way too much on Saturday Night Live. I love Saturday Night Live. I've watched since like the 70s. With
I just don't think they knew what they'd do with her. That's all.
Apparently, I guess not. So,
okay.
Anyway, all right. Maybe I'll watch this weekend's episode and see if it gets any better. Or not.
It might.
I don't know. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you next week.
Definitely.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Pern and Dave, Let's Talk is brought to you by, Pern and Dave and Ye Old Souvenir Shop.
Supplying all your Lord Farquaad's toys and dolls.
And the good people at Tweety's Farms,
home of Miss Tweety's chicken pies. It's the woman's touch.
Till next time.